Hello and welcome to this Come to Jesus Daily Devotional. Currently we're in the book of Jonah. Today's meditation is entitled, Take Away My Life. Let's now read from Jonah 3:10 to 4:3. When God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not bring on them the destruction he had threatened. But to Jonah this seemed very wrong, and he became angry. He prayed to the Lord, "Isn't this what I said, Lord, when I was still at home? This is what I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity. Now, Lord, take away my life. For it is better for me to die than to live." In summary, we are all susceptible to spiritual depression. We are all susceptible to spiritual depression. Jonah is filled with disappointment and even wishes for death when God chooses not to destroy Nineveh. Added to this, let's not miss the point that he must be physically and emotionally exhausted and drained. He's just survived a raging storm and being swallowed by a large fish for 3 days. Many of us can relate to Jonah's feelings of despair and frustration, especially when we see wickedness seemingly go unpunished. Psalm 73 touches on this subject, as the prosperity of the wicked can be confusing in the face of God's goodness and justice. And Psalm 73, 1-5 and verse 13 says, "Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold. For I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles, their bodies are healthy and strong. They are free from common human burdens. They're not plagued by human ills. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence." You can hear his anger here, can't you? Why, God, do you allow the wicked to go on and even to prosper in this world, whilst people who have kept a pure heart, who have served you, can sometimes suffer? Jonah is angry with God for not judging the wicked city. God didn't act toward the wicked city as Jonah believed that he should have. Now, when God fails to act as we think he should, we can fall into discouragement and cynicism and even despair. For example, maybe we find it hard to have a child. We don't get the sort of work we desire. We're struggling financially. Our health is not good. Our children are struggling in some way. The world seems free to speak against what we believe, whilst we feel pressured to conform to what the ungodly believe. Life can feel unfair, particularly if we feel that God owes us good things because he loves us and we've maybe made great sacrifices in serving him. Elijah had a similar period of spiritual depression. He had just seen amazing, miraculous victories. He'd seen fire fall from heaven and defeat the prophets of Baal. He should be on top of the world. Instead, Elijah was in despair. We read that in 1 Kings 19:3-5, Elijah was afraid and ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there, while he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness. He came to a broom tree, sat down under it, and prayed that he might die. I've had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life. I'm no better than my ancestors. Then he lay down under the bush and fell asleep. Again, Elijah is physically exhausted. He's also being threatened. He's being threatened by the wicked king. God sometimes allows us to be afflicted in ways that we would prefer that we weren't afflicted, and he sometimes doesn't do the things we would want him to do. Jonah's experiencing this right now. In response, let's seek or give support. Today, let's recognize that spiritual depression exists. Recognize our own susceptibility. Look out for the people that the Father wants us to help at this time. For most of us, this despair we are feeling will pass. We know that it's a hard season. We draw close to God and we find peace. However, if we feel that we cannot cope, if we feel overwhelmed, or even that life is not worth living, it's really important to talk to a trusted Christian friend or to a leader about this. God bless you.